Hello, everybody. Marcus C. Williams here. Happy New Year, right? I mean, it is New Year's Day, and already we have seen a whole bunch of insanity happen already right here on New Year's Day. We've seen multiple different attacks right inside of our own nation, inside the United States of America, as if it was something that was normal. But this isn't something that we're used to. This is something that the United States is unaccustomed to. We continually have these things that seem to be not something that happens very often in the US start to happen more and more frequently in the US. And it's absolutely tragic. Today we had an attack in New Orleans. That was insane. We had a car bomb in Las Vegas. That was insane. There have been attacks going on across the world today. And it seems that more and more and more, everything is growing into more insanity. If you're watching right now, take a quick second, hit the share button, definitely hit the share button, hit a heart, hit a like, do a comment. We'll try to pop your comments up there, even if you just comment an emoji. But share this out so we can get out to more people. We're going to show a couple of videos tonight. Some might be a little shocking, right? Because, you know, some people have soft sensibilities. But we're going to show a couple of videos. We're going to really dig down into what's going on and to what's been happening in just the last 24 hours. So we're going to start off with this video right here so you can see some of what was going on. As you can see, absolute insanity as calamity broke out in New Orleans. Right now, they're saying that there were over 10 killed. We don't have a specific number, and over 32 to 36 injured. I believe that they've readjusted the number of those who have died now to 12 to 15, but we will see how that comes out in the next coming days. So this happened early New Year's, right? Like when a time when everybody's supposed to be celebrating, out in high spirits and starting to get just the zeal of life for what's going to be upcoming and all of the positive stuff that should come. So many people got calls this morning about their children that won't come home, that they'll never see again in this bright new year. As we continue this conversation, please hit share, hit the heart, drop some comments. Check this out because I want to show you what the FBI said as soon as they started to do a press conference this morning, because we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a couple of other things, and I got some more scenes for you, so don't go anywhere. Share this out. Check this out, you guys.
Kirkpatrick said we'll be taking over the investigative lead for this event. This is not a terrorist event. What it is right now is their improvised explosive devices that was found.
So I don't know about you, but if you hear improvised explosive devices were found, then to me, that sounds like it's some sort of a terrorist attack, whether it's domestic, whether it's foreign, whether it's whatever. Sounds like a terrorist attack to me. Previous to that, the New Orleans police chief got up there and she was like, not the police chief, but the mayor got up there and was like, oh, well, we believe this was a terrorist attack. The FBI came right behind and said, oh, no, this isn't. We don't know that it is yet. So this is interesting as the FBI at the same time says that there were improvised explosive devices. Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds a little crazy to me. And if you're an American and if you're an American citizen and you know anything about America's history with the FBI doing weird, odd, shady stuff and providing domestic terrorists as well as foreign terrorists with all types of bomb building equipment, weapons, and other stuff as far as information, whether it's actual logistics or planning stuff. This is something that we know that the FBI has a history of doing, and many of us as the Americans, as proud as we are, no longer have very much trust in the FBI because we know about a lot of the shady practices that the feds pull. And that's not to say that any one of the individual agents there are not good people or don't want the best for our country. It's just overall as an agency, we know that the FBI has been running as an opposition agency many different things that have harmed our community, our nation, and the course of the direction that we want to go. So it's very interesting that they would find improvised explosive devices, and then all of the sudden, immediately, the FBI would say, oh, we don't know it's a terrorist attack yet. But the city of New Orleans said that it was a terrorist attack. So this is very interesting. Now, this truck plowed into all of these people on Bourbon Street. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Bourbon Street, but in New Orleans, please share this space. Share this out, okay? And in New Orleans, a lot of people gather. There's a lot of bars. It's right in the heart of the French Quarter. It's very famous. And it's very interesting that this was I guess, a target. You know, there was a target that was chosen. Somehow there were barricades that were supposed to be up that weren't up magically. I don't know how that happened. You know, I always assume malice where incompetence will do. You know, they say it's Hallin's razor. Don't assume maliciousness where incompetence will do. No. It's been my life experience. Always assume maliciousness when you could substitute it with stupidity, because it's very rarely stupidity. Most of the time, it's absolutely intentional. And I don't know whether this was intentional to leave those barricades down or whatever the case is, but it seems very suspicious, to say the least. Now, this guy with this truck was a very huge, some sort of Ford. I'm not sure what type it was, what model it was exactly, but apparently he was from Houston, Texas. He rented it over Turo, and he came all the way from Texas to New Orleans to commit this act. Now, this seems very interesting and unique. Like, why would you go from Texas, and you live in Houston, all the way to New Orleans and commit this attack? It sounds suspect. I'm just saying. Apparently, a couple of days before, he had went to Mexico, and there's no information on that yet. We'll see what happens with what's coming up and stuff like that. But this is insane to think that this would happen on New Year's Day. But there's more. And I want to show you these other videos, and I want to show you some pictures, and you tell me what you think. Check this out. Share this, and definitely hit the like and drop some comments. Terrible, absolutely abominable behavior, something to happen in our own nation. It's completely unacceptable. But we see stuff like this seems to be becoming more and more commonplace in the US as we just have a lax sense of false security that's been enabled by our government spy apparatus that has been snatching away our privacy, saying that they need more of a scope of being able to invade our privacy and use biometric scanning and use all of these cameras that they're trying to put up just so that they can watch all of the American people. But somehow they can never seem to stop these criminals or terrorists. Somebody make it make sense to me. And they're going to use this, I guarantee you, mark my word on this, they're going to use this as a way to increase extra surveillance on the American people. Watch, mark my word. That's what's coming up. They're going to increase more surveillance. They're going to start trying to put more strict things in as far as different things that you can and cannot buy, as well as firearms. Check this video out.
Copy.
Now that's a video of a car bomb in Las Vegas. That happened today also. That's a Tesla Cybertruck that got blown up in front of Trump Tower. Now, as you can see, it looked like there were some fireworks or stuff that were going off along with the explosion. They're saying that it was an improvised explosive device. It was fireworks and possibly some camping fuel in there and some other things that were used to set off that bomb in that Cybertruck in front of Trump Tower. Very interesting and on the timing, right? Now, this happened after the attack happened in New Orleans, you know? So your question would be is, if this happened then, did the people know that that had already happened that day? And were they taking advantage of this? Was this something that was pre-planned? Was this something that is more strategic afoot that we don't really know about? Who can tell? If you're watching this, hit the share button, hit the like button, drop some hearts, drop some comments. We'll try to pop up some of your comments in a moment. And if you would be so kind, down below in the little ticker there, you can see different ways to donate so we can get more information out there to the people. Now, we showed the little clip of the FBI saying that, oh, everything was not necessarily a terrorist attack and everything. I want to show you this video of the FBI later in the day. Check this out.
I will provide you some facts and information about what we do now. I know that all of you will have questions, and we will try to provide some answers. But this is an ongoing investigation that's rapidly evolving. So there are some questions I will be unable to answer at this time. The FBI is the lead investigative agency, and we're investigating this as an attack of terrorism along with our partners. Today at approximately 3:15 a.m. Central Standard Time, an individual drove a pickup truck into a crowd on Bourbon Street in New Orleans, killing at least 10 individuals and injuring dozens more. After hitting the crowd, he exited the vehicle and fired upon local law enforcement. Law enforcement returned fire, and the subject was pronounced deceased at the scene. 2 law enforcement officers were injured and transported to local hospitals. The subject has been identified as 42-year-old citizen from Texas. He was driving a Ford pickup truck, which appears to be rented, and we are working to confirm how the subject came in possession of this vehicle. An ISIS flag was located on the trailer hitch of the vehicle, and the FBI is working to determine the subject's potential associations and affiliations with terrorist organizations. Weapons and potential improvised explosive devices, IEDs, were located in the subject's vehicle. Other potential IEDs were also located in the French Quarter. As of now, 2 IEDs have been found and rendered safe. The FBI Special Agent bomb technicians, as well as our local law enforcement partners, have been working to determine if any of these devices are viable, and they'll work to render those devices safe. The FBI, we are working with our partners to investigate this as an act of terrorism. We're aggressively running down all of the leads to identify the possible subject's associates. We're working to ensure that there is no further threat. We do not believe that Jabbar was solely responsible. We're aggressively running down every lead, including those of his known associates. That's why we need the public's help. We are asking if anybody has any interactions with Samsud Dim Jabbar in the last 72 hours that you contact us. The FBI is asking the public's help. We're asking anyone who has information, video, or pictures to provide it to the FBI. We have set up a digital tip line as well as our 1-800 number, 1-800-CALL-FBI. Please provide us with any information that can assist us in this investigation. Once again, thank you for your patience and assistance.
Okay, so now that was the story after, right? We showed you the story of the FBI when it first happened. We showed you the story afterward. So now apparently this guy had a flag, which was the flag of ISIS on the back of his car. Now, I don't know how he got a flagpole, right? This was apparently a rented car, who knows? And he had the flag on there. The flag was not on full display or unfurled when the attack was committed, which was another thing that was very interesting. I think that the most interesting part to me is that they said that they found two, count them, two improvised explosive devices, okay, IEDs, with him. Now, this seems a very sloppy thing. Like, why would you have explosives if you're going to run people over? That seems suspect, right? That, like, wouldn't you plant those explosives? Something weird is happening there. And there have been pictures, some of which have come out, where they showed the pictures of the guy when the event first happened. I'm going to show you some of them. If you like, some of them are a little bit graphic. So if you got a loose stomach, you know what I'm saying? Hit the share button, drop some comments, hit the like button. And if you feel like donating, check out the link in the ticker. And they're on the sides of the screens. You can see how to donate. Hold tight. Check this out. Let's see. So now, as you can see, this right here is a picture of him lying on the ground outside of the truck right there, where it looks like that's where he was laid to rest, where his final moments were in the shootout with the police. Now, check this out over here. Now, this shows some of the craziness, as it were, that was right there. So, I mean, I got to be honest, it's kind of awesome that what do you call that, cherry picker or whatever you want to call it, was right there, because it does seem that cherry picker actually saved the lives of many people that were in the area. So that is an amazing thing. And check this out here. So now here's something interesting. This right here is a picture of the alleged ISIS flag that was on the back of the truck. Now, that doesn't completely look like an ISIS flag, but it does look like somebody was attempting to possibly mimic one or something like that. But it does seem to be very suspicious in and of itself. Now, I don't know what you make of it, but that seems suspect as all good get up. Please share this and get it out to more people. Now, this guy right here was apparently a guy from Houston, Texas. Allegedly, he's native born. He's from the U.S., but he's got ties to radical Islam. Check this out. This is allegedly the guy, right? I mean, I don't know how somebody looks the same, has the same history, is from the same place, and has that exact weird same name. But check this out, because we should have a very serious conversation about this guy. Make sure that you hit the like, share, and subscribe. And if you would be ever so kind, there's different ways to donate in the ticker, and you can also see ways to donate on the sides. Check this out.
Texas, and now live in Houston. And I've been here all my life, with the exception of traveling for the military, where I spent 10 years as a human resources specialist and IT specialist, where I learned the meaning of great service and what it means to be responsive and take everything seriously, dotting I's and crossing T's to make sure that things go off without a hitch. So I've taken those skills and applied them to my...
That seems interesting, right? So in this picture, he's a realtor. He's working for a real estate firm. He's got some U.S. Army background, this, that, and the third, da-da-da-da-da. It seems very, very interesting that a man like that, which is apparently the same guy that the FBI is saying is the guy who did it, which kind of looks like the guy on the ground. I don't know. You tell me. I mean, they're saying that this is the guy that did it. I guess. I mean, they just raided his home in Texas. I unfortunately don't have that video, but when I'm able to get it, I'll try to post it on my social media to show you. Now, check this out, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it good on the screen, but I'm going to try to show it to you. So this right here shows a little bit of the history of him and where he's worked, right? So he's worked for different places, including the military, as well as working for Ernst & Young, and Blue Metal Properties is the one where you saw that he was talking about on the actual little video there. But he's also worked for I forget how you pronounce that, but Delotti or Delotta, I forget, it doesn't even matter to me. But anyway, these people hire CIA contractors. Somebody make it make sense. They hire CIA contractors. He worked for the military. He seems to have a good, strong background. And all of a sudden, now he's a radical Islamist terrorist. I don't know what to say, y'all. I'm not saying it has anything to do with the history of the CIA doing these different games and stuff on its own people and practicing with things like MK Ultra with mind control, getting people to do very out of character things and stuff like that. And that was back in like the 70s. I could imagine how far advanced they are with that. I mean, it just doesn't, something doesn't line up, right? Like maybe the guy just magically looked the same. Maybe the guy just magically had the same name, magically lived in Houston, magically was the same age. I don't know. I mean, it is a possibility. It's highly improbable, but it is also still a possibility. So it's very interesting the direction that these things seem like they're going when we start to find out more about this guy. They're also scrubbing, they've scrubbed all the social media of this guy and everything everywhere. And it's very odd what's going on right now. But understanding that our federal government is out there funding terrorist groups like ISIS, like Al-Qaeda, like the rest of these other people that they funded before, like Al-Shabaab and the rest of them. Okay, Al-Shabaab, North Africa, but same thing. Okay, people that proclaim that they hate America. You understand what I'm saying? This is very serious. You know that Hezbollah and stuff has training groups down in places like Venezuela and Central America? Like, are we having a real serious conversation about what's going on with the security of our border and stuff like that? We know from Congress that many people have come through our border that have terrorist links, okay? And that's the ones that we know about, not the ones that have come in that have been unvetted or have been gotten away. So what are we doing as a nation? So I'm going to pop up. This is Wesley Hunt. He's talking about how, I'll just show you what he's talking about. Check out Wesley Hunt. Rep.
We've had
Wesley
over
Hunt.
6 million people, illegal aliens, enter our country since Biden's taken office. 6 million. We have conceded our border to the cartels. Fentanyl has killed enough fentanyl has poured into this country to kill every single American 5 times. We have sworn enemies on the terrorist watch list in the United States, and we don't even know where they are. If President Biden does not secure this border, we're going to have another 9/11. That's how serious this is, and we must do our job and protect the American citizen.
I see you, Dan. Darlene, I see you too. Please hit like, hit share, get this out to more people. And definitely, if you can, drop a donation. You can donate. You can see the little ticker right there. We're going to show you some more stuff in 2 seconds. But you can donate on Cash App, $MW Real, the number 1, or givesendgo.com/Marcus C. Williams. We're also on Venmo and PayPal at Marcus C. Williams. Now, as we have this serious conversation about what is going on at our border and what is going on with these people that are not being processed, that are just skating through, many of which are terrorists, okay, or have terrorist links. Like I said, they got training camps that we know about in Venezuela, Nicaragua, and other parts in Central and South America. But they also have them in Mexico. And we know that in northern Mexico too. And they have said that they've said in Congress that they are training the cartels. You understand what I'm saying, guys? Make it make sense. Hit the heart, drop some comments, and definitely share this out. Make it make sense. What's happening in America right now is essentially, if you ask me, a grave oversight by our federal government, who refuses to take the levels of action necessary to protect our people, while at the same time, they're trying to strip every right, liberty, and freedom from you that you can possibly have. They don't want you to speak up about stuff that you see is wrong. They don't want you to speak up when you see that the government ain't acting right. They don't want you to have ability to practice the Second Amendment, to own or bear arms. They want to limit the type of arms that you can have and all of this crazy stuff. But in the meantime, they setting people on fire on trains and they running people over with cars. You understand what I'm saying? They're blowing buildings up and all types of stuff. There's all types of reasons why you should be able to own a firearm, and a serious firearm at that, because guess what? The police might not make it in time. Guess what else? It's not the police's job to protect you. It's the police's job to enforce the law. There is a very big difference. Many of them do work their best to protect citizens, but it's not their actual job. And we need to remember that it is up to us to protect ourselves. Now, I'm going to show you this next video. It was done on an interview with, I believe, what's the guy's name? Sean Ryan. And it was somebody that they were interviewing that has experience in dealing with different terrorist organizations and stuff like that. And they're talking about how we are not ready for the type of behaviors that these crazy terrorist people have. And we've got some more stuff coming out after that. So check this video out real quick.
We have not had a man walk up to a building with a suicide vest on in the United States. Americans don't understand this. Al-Qaeda knows this, right? So this is new and innovative, especially now. You don't have to walk upside of the building. You can walk in the building because of the advancement of the vest. The other thing is, in the United States, we haven't had Fedayeen attackers. So the concept is the terrorist fights to the death. So he's not exactly a suicide bomber, but he will fight till either all of us are dead or all of his people are dead. We think it's going to be a swarming attack, right? Multiple different attacks at one time across multiple cities. I think there will be suicide bombers just because some of the attackers went through suicide bomber training and they have these vests. And then we think there's these Fedayeen attackers who will carry on until they're killed.
You just rephrase that. So these guys are trained and they are going to fight until they're killed.
Yes, and that matters, right? So I was watching this video and it was a suicide bombing in Kabul years ago. The bomber blew up and then everyone starts moving in, the first responders move in, right? And then another guy walks in and blows up. We know this is a tactic, but if Americans don't understand this as a tactic and don't understand these attackers are gonna fight to the death, think about that. Battle's going on, the attacker surrenders, he might have the suicide vest, you know, we let our guard down. That man came to die, right? He's gonna fight till he dies or you die. So we can't let our guards down, and they know our weakness. So we have to be very careful that we don't have more people die in these second and third order effects of not knowing their intent.
So with that, we have to step away from this soft, foo-foo, nicey niceness that has plagued the United States for the last few decades. Because while I am one of those people that says the government's up to no good, because the government's always up to no good, I'm going to tell you that right now. Believe what you want to. When people say that the government wouldn't do that, oh, yes, they would. Did I tell you that we were funding all of these terrorist organizations? Did you just see the video from the House of Representatives I played where it's saying that we're funding all of these terrorist organizations? Absolutely. So we're funding these terrorists, these people that are anti-American, that are out there preaching blood against Americans, that are out there saying that they want to attack us, destroy our cities, destroy our people, and destroy our way of life. And people are not ready for the level of commitment that these individuals have. You want to say that somebody is radicalized? They are not radical. They are zealots. And that is a very strong distinction. Okay, a very strong distinction. I'm going to put up this other guy from the House of Representatives. This is Tim right here. Check him out.
Hey, everybody. Tim Burchett. Getting ready to head back to D.C. For the speaker's vote. Lots going on right now in our country. I want everybody to keep an eye on it. We've, I passed legislation in the House that would effectively, I believe, stop the funding of American tax dollars going to the Taliban and these radical groups that really just hate our guts and want to kill us. We're spending millions and millions of dollars, your tax dollars, every week is going to these people. And the bill went to the Senate, and our national media wouldn't even talk about it. How crazy is that? Look, folks, these folks, they're not, they may be Americans, but they're not for us. They're not for our way of life. They want to destroy us. And this is the way they do it. And we could eliminate this tomorrow if the Democrats and Chuck Schumer in the Senate would have brought that bill up, but they chose not to. So millions every week continue to flow to the Taliban. And, we've been warned. So I hope everybody pays very close attention to what's going on, and you demand a lot more from your elected officials. Our national media should be ashamed for not exposing this any more than they did. We'll go at it, I guess, first of the year after everything gets started. So hopefully we won't.
So this is what we've got going on. The people that are in Congress are funding the enemy of the American people. Now, your better question is, whose side are they really on when they're supposed to represent us? Are they really representing the best interests of the American people when they're funding our enemy? I'd say not. You understand what I'm saying? They're over there funding Al-Qaeda. They're funding the Taliban. They're funding, what's the other group? The Mujahideen. They funded Al-Shabaab. They funded all of these other people. They funded these, HST or HTS, whatever it is this week, over there in Syria, that's now toppled the Syrian government. Okay, there's a lot of other these little fractured groups and fractions over there, including many parts of ISIS that are coming back up to resurge and take over a whole country. Like, are we serious? And the United States is funding it, and they are our enemies. What did we just do? Gave all of those billions of dollars of equipment to the Taliban, right? Why did we do that? Oh, it was cheaper than bringing it back home. How much is American lives worth? You understand what I'm saying? Look at what just happened in Syria. I'll give you an example. I know people somehow feel some type of way about everything that goes on over there, but I'm going to say this as a very pointful example. The Syrian military, the Syrian government fell, essentially, right? And then Israel went over to Syria and they blew up 80% of the weapons over there. Why did Israel say that they blew up the weapons over there? So that they were not used against them. But we just gave all the Taliban all of our billions of dollars of equipment. Why did we not blow up our own equipment? Not that I'm in favor of that. I think we should have brought it home. You understand what I'm saying? But why did we not blow it up? But we gave it to the Taliban? Are we serious right now? Then they have military brigades with our own stuff. But as House Representative Tim and as Congressman Wesley said, they out there funding our enemies. And they're not taking serious what's going on with the people that are flowing into our nation. And this is a very, very serious thing. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but when ISIS started to rise, before what happened in Syria the first time started to happen, every night on CNN, they were talking about how we had these great allies over in Syria that were going to topple Bashar al-Assad's reign and all of this and all of that. Who was that? Who did that turn into? That was ISIS. That was the United States government funding the creation of ISIS. And on top of funding the creation of ISIS, they were doing it live in our face every night on CNN, telling us it was a good thing. Speaking of CNN, I got a video from these people to show you. Check this out.
That source also revealed what was inside the truck, explosives that included fireworks, gas tanks, and camping fuel, and authorities believe that that was connected to a detonation system controlled by the driver. We're also hearing this same sentiment from Elon Musk, who tweeted out that they have now confirmed that the explosion was caused by very large fireworks and or a bomb carried in the bed of the rented Cybertruck, and is unrelated to the vehicle itself. So he was clear to say that this was not an issue with the Cybertruck. And the sheriff also earlier said that they are checking for secondary devices. They're investigating many different leads, but he was clear to say that there does not appear to be any further threat to the Las Vegas community.
This is crazy, right? So this happened today. The same day that they attacked New Orleans, this happened today at the same time. Now, is this also part of that? I don't know. But it seems very interesting that all of it would happen today. Maybe it's different cells trying to do different things and accomplish different things. But I would think, and I would stand to wager, that if you thought that, oh, well, this other terrorist attack thing happened today, well, maybe I should wait to do mine, or whatever the case would be, unless they were pressed for time. And judging by what was going on, I don't know that they felt pressed for time, but it does seem like they were planned for the same day. So while they might not be connected, they might be separate cells of a greater program that's being run against the American people. Or it could have been a message to Elon Musk that we don't mess with you because you ain't no good. Or it could have been a message to Elon Musk and Trump and the Americans that support them that they are willing to do whatever they can to come get us all. And that is something that we should be very alert on, because it's not about the fact that they're willing to go after Trump or go after Elon or whatever the case may be, or try to set a message like this. It's the fact that they're willing to do that. And irregardless, I know irregardless isn't a word, but regardless of whether it hurts other people or not, they'll do that just to prove a message, just to prove a point. If you're watching, please hit share, hit like, drop some hearts, drop some comments. I'll try to pop up the comments on screen. And if you feel so generous, please do donate. We got the ticker on the bottom, tell you how to donate. And we got some links on the side, show you how to donate. So as we have this conversation about all of this insanity that's happening today, right now, today, all on the same day, all on New Year's Day, you got to really start to wonder, what is going on. Regardless of what you think might be going on, it's very clear that multiple things are lining up to show us that there are those who would like to destabilize our nation, turn us against each other internally, and cause conflict and chaos. Now, we know for a fact and historically that the only time that that happens is when the people on the top of the pyramid are trying to consolidate power. So y'all really got to pay attention to what's going on, because if you ask me, it is a much larger operation against the American people. And yes, the people in the top of the pyramid are in on it. Yes, the government is in on it. Okay, whether many of the lower level people know it or not, we are under attack internally and externally by people that do not want the best for American citizens. We got enemies, foreign and domestic, right now popping off at the American people, trying to fill us full of fear, but more than that, showing you that they will do whatever they can to destabilize our government and our day-to-day life, as the government at the same time pulls back our privacy, starts issuing more biometric scanning, pushes for digital IDs, pushes to make it so that it's more difficult for you to own a firearm or even have a firearm. I just saw another thing today. Apparently in New Orleans, now they're giving out PlayStations if you turn in a gun. Is this for real? Like, is this real life? Is this all happening around and about the same time? Like, what is going on here? You got to start connecting these dots. You don't need a board on your wall with the special red string from the store to see that something is up. It's very concerning, and more people should be paying attention to what's going on. Now, I got a couple more things I want to show you coming up here, and I think that you might be very interested. We showed the video of the Tesla exploding on the outside with the fireworks. Here is a different video from the inside. That's the outside video, but matter of fact, I'll show you that again, and then I'll show you.
Copy.
That's the outside one. Drink water, stay hydrated. Now check this inside one out. Insanity. You can hear the fireworks going off outside. So that'll probably be another thing that you're going to try to take away soon. You guys, you got to wake up. Pay attention to what's being done to the American people. Regardless of what things look like, you got to understand what was the guy's name? I forget. He was a famous Democratic strategist. He used to say, never let, and I'm paraphrasing because I know this isn't how you say it, but it escapes me right now. Never let a good tragedy go to waste, right? You think that the people in control of the government aren't going to use this to rein in your ability to own firearms or to own fireworks or to do any of this or any of that? You better wake up, okay? When they do this, they are going to take more of our liberties and freedoms and the ability to protect ourselves away while reaching out and extending the government more. Now, while all of this is going on, at the same time, I'd just like to throw out there that there was in Effingham County in Georgia, there was a judge that shot himself in the court the evening before he would have no longer been a judge there because he lost his election. But he had tried to step down earlier that year, and Governor Kemp said no. I'm just saying, I don't know if that's attached to anything. I'm just saying it's very odd occurrences all at one time. That seems kind of interesting to me, and that kind of got lost in what's going on in the media. But did you see what happened not but a couple of hours ago? Please hit share, hit the like button, put some hearts out there, drop some comments. I'll try to throw your comments up. Definitely share this out and get it out to more people. Now, check this out. So that right there is a video of these anti-American jihadist terrorists marching through the streets in New York City today, this evening, after those attacks on our nation. I'm gonna say it again, right? Because it just so interesting. Make sure that you hit subscribe or follow, and make sure that you share this out. It's just so interesting that these anti-American terrorists now all of a sudden want to come out the woodwork and march in New York City, talking about, oh, how do they say it? There's no solution but intifada revolution. Globalize the intifada. All of them should be arrested and prosecuted for terrorism immediately. No lines, no waiting. Immediately. Anybody, what's an intifada? Intifada is a armed rebellion against the government. Now I'm real American, bro. The government been corrupt. They ain't been serving the people. Hey, what's the Constitution say? And how did that come about? And really, definitely, what's the Declaration of Independence say? I'm just saying. I'm not saying, but I'm saying. Maybe the government needs to be tipped over and poured out like the spoiled, curdled pot of tea that it actually is. But these people are talking about overthrowing our government, not for the American people. They're talking about doing it for a foreign interest. They want to overthrow our government, not for the American people, but for foreign interest. They're out there waving flags of ISIS in New York City after this attack, and they're not being arrested as the terrorists that they are. Lord have mercy. Drink water, stay hydrated. This is insane. This is absolutely insane that they be allowed to do that. And they've been continuing to do that. And I don't care what anybody says. Like I've said from the beginning, day one, those so-called pro-Palestinian people don't give a flying monkey's uncle about Palestine. Okay. All they are is communists and terrorists that want to overthrow our government. You got the communists, you got the socialists, you got the Islamists, all of them rolling together to talk about overthrowing our government. Because at the end of the day, all they want is destabilization and chaos so that they can get rid of our government in favor of themselves. And these daggone fools are so foolish that they don't see that they're being used by the elites to drive this stuff forward. If you think that you're ever going to take control over everything, you lost your daggone mind. Okay. But the fact of the matter is that they so bold that they'll go out in the street and do it, and the government won't even stop them. Why won't the government stop them? But if you got a little militia out there in the backwoods of Mississippi, okay, or West Virginia, they're coming for you, right? Look at what happened with Waco, right? Look at what happened with Ruby Ridge, right? Okay. So you think that they just letting these people run amok by mistake, bro? It's intentional destabilization. They are using them as a tool against the American people. Okay, to wedge the American people against each other, to keep the American people on their feet, to use them as the terrorist organizations that they are, so that they can say they need more power, the government needs more control over you, and they need to input more surveillance. I've seen it happen right here in my city. They did it at the county ledge. Now we got all types of extra security in there. You can't even go through the front door at my county legislature anymore. You got to go through the back door and through all of these scanners and all of this nonsense now because of those anti-American jihadist terrorists. And I said what I said, and I don't care how you feel about it. They're terrorists and they're anti-American. They're also anti-Christian, but we ain't even going to get on that tonight. Okay? If you feel what I'm talking about, share this space, hit the like button, hit the heart button, definitely share it. And if you feel so encouraged to donate, you can donate below $MW Real, the digit 1 on Cash App, or you can do Venmo or PayPal. It's at Marcus C. Williams, or you can do givesendgo.com/Marcus C. Williams. So as we have this serious conversation, you see these terrorists out here in our streets protesting, right? I use the term loosely. Okay. Sowing civil disturbances in our country, promoting the overthrow of our government is what they're doing. Today, after 2 terrorist attacks on United States soil, waving the flags of ISIS, and the federal government, the FBI, the DEA, the ATF, all the rest of them, okay, Somebody would say, oh, the DEA doesn't know that. I'm not trying to hear that. You know exactly what I mean. All these alphabet letter agencies, and I could name some more, okay? All of these surveillance agencies, the NSA and the rest of them, and ain't nobody locking them up. Come on now, stop it. You see what they did to the Proud Boys, okay? Come on, stop it. Don't play in my face. Okay, how many other small militias that didn't even want nobody? Oh, well, they're anti-government. It's like 12 dudes in the woods. What they about to do? You know, absolutely nothing. Okay, you know, this is the problem. People need to understand the maliciousness of our own government. I love my country. Nobody is a bigger patriot than Marcus C. Williams. I'm the biggest patriot in this country. I love my country. Can't nobody tell me nothing wrong about my country. But when it comes to our government is shady business, y'all. Our government is shady business, and they will actively move against the American people. And if anybody ever tells you, no, the government wouldn't do that, oh, yes, they would. Our military, the CIA, and the FBI has committed multiple atrocities against the American people, and it's well documented. And I'm not even talking about things that are classified. So we need to wise up, and we need to see how the people that are really behind the government are moving and stuff like that, because they are actively moving against the American people. It is a new year. The time is here for the American people to stand up to the government and say, we will have no more of what you are doing to us. That means we have to start participating and getting active. You got to get active on your local level of politics, whether that's school board, whether that's city council, town council, county ledge, fire district, whatever it is. We need good, God-fearing patriots in all of these different positions. So when the federal government start acting up, we be like, absolutely not. You see, they trying to push the bird flu and the shutdowns and all of this and all of that on us, and they're destroying the food supply, all of this and all of that's magically happening. Come on now. It just seems magically all at the same time. But we know that there is a bigger push behind it from the Western, I guess you would say the Western elite, right? Like the UN, the WEF, and all of these other groups that we know about, and ones that we don't know about as well, or that aren't talked about that much, that are quasi-secret or quasi-governmental agencies. So they're very clearly moving against the American people, and it's time for us as the American citizens to get involved, right? Like, I'm not saying take up arms against the government, because I don't think that enough of you would ever take up arms to get to turn over the government the way that the Declaration of Independence says that it should be. I don't think that enough of you would ever do something like that. But you know who would try to do some retarded stuff like that? These anti-American jihadists. Because they marched through the street. They destroyed half of my town. They burnt all of they burnt and broke up all of the stores and stuff in the neighborhoods of the people that are working class, middle class, and impoverished. And maybe depending on what city or state you live in, it might have happened in your place too. They don't care about us, okay? And they'll use any of these people as a deceptive tactic against us so that they can put more hands in the power of the government. And with that, I want to show you this video because it's all happening at the same time. And it's not just here. And I think that it's very important that we know it's not just here. Check this out.
I don't know what they are doing. وريهم. خير إن شاء الله. خليها تكميل ثم أروح إن شاء الله. I will go إن شاء الله recite some Quran. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ياسين والقرآن الحكيم إنك لمن المرسلين على صراط مستقيم تنزيل العزيز الرحيم.
So now this is happening at a Christmas celebration, okay, in Germany. Now, I don't know if you guys are familiar, there were a couple of Christmas attacks in Germany, okay, by Islamists. but it also happened in Britain, which I'm sure you probably didn't even hear about 2 of them when there's about, I think we're up to about 5 now. Okay. And this is something that continues to grow all across the Western society. Makes it very interesting that it all seems to be happening at one time. Not to say that it's all coordinated, but I mean, gee golly gosh, the timing seems very interesting to all be happening at the same time. Now, there was also a bombing last night in Germany that destroyed 38 apartments and left some kids dead. So I wish I had that video of it. This might be the video, but it might not. Let me check this video out and see if this is the video. So that's in Germany. That happened, again, New Year's Eve last night, this morning. Okay. 38 apartments destroyed, children dead, adults, I'm not sure, but I do know that a couple of children did die in that explosion. This is insane. And it's going on more and more across the world. You got questions on where the explosives came from? I don't know where the explosives came from. I don't know how they got the hands on it. You know, there's all types of different stashes of different military weapons and military grade explosives all across Europe and all across the US from multiple different programs that they've had to be able to encourage an insurgency inside the countries. Look up Operation Gladio. Okay, that's a real operation that they showed was funded by NATO countries, including the US, and Spain actually sued them over that because they were putting stuff to make bombs and guns and all types of stashes all across Spain. Spain found out, they flipped out, they had a whole lawsuit about it. It's a real thing. But if they did it there and they did it in other European countries, know that it's something that has happened in the US as well. And that was done by the by all of these alphabet agencies so that they can sow discord in these countries if they wanted to. It was government funded. Like, this is crazy. Like, this is real stuff that's being done to the people. We got to catch wise. And that's why I say we got to start participating more in politics. This year is a time to get active, especially on the local level. If you got local elections, make sure that you're getting good people in there that are going to stand up for the citizens, okay? Because the federal government right now, shady business. All of them really need to be largely purged out of there, okay? We need to get people on the state level, state assembly, state senate, state house, depending on what state you're in, depending on how you phrase it. We need to get good people in these spaces because we are going to need that buffer between the state and the federal government, because the federal government is up to no good. And even many states are up to no good, as well as state agencies. That's why we need the right people in the right positions that are going to stand up for the American citizen, because it's very clear that our government not only is run by private institutions, but they're also run by private investors and by people who have their own interests that are in Congress, in the Senate, in all of these different agencies in the bureaucracy and stuff like that. We are under attack as the people. Dave, I saw you there. I put up your comment. Thank you, Dave. If you guys like what I'm talking about, drop some hearts. Definitely hit that share button. Subscribe, follow. And if you feel so inclined to donate, please donate. You can donate via Cash App, $MW Real, the number 1, that's MW Real, the digit 1, or you can donate on Venmo, PayPal, that's at Marcus C. Williams, or you can do it via givesendgo.com/Marcus C. Williams. As we continue this conversation that's ever so important, you guys, we have to look at what's going on and that we as America are under attack. It's serious. What else is going on in New Orleans right now? The Sugar Bowl, which just got delayed. One of the games got delayed till tomorrow. We got the Super Bowl coming up in New Orleans coming up soon. Okay. The governor from down there said that he was actually going to issue a disaster declaration, emergency declaration tomorrow so that he could free up more resources and more money for more security for this upcoming Super Bowl. And then this so-called happened. You know, it's just very interesting all at one time. And then I'm going to show you this because I thought that this was funny. Let me see if we got this clip here. This is good. You're going to enjoy this.
The federal government is now in charge of this investigation. By that I mean the White House, the FBI, the Department of Homeland Security, and the Department of Justice. I have not talked to the FBI. Maybe they've talked to my staff. I don't know. I did talk to the Secretary of Homeland Security a little while ago. And I told him that with all the respect I could muster, that we expect to put the full force and resources of the federal government behind this investigation. Our state troopers, our local police departments, our sheriffs, we've got many sheriffs here today, have been terrific so far. The federal government is cooperating with them. I hope that will continue. Here's what I want to ask from the federal government. Catch these people. Catch these people. And then tell the American people the truth. Now, I don't want you to tell us yet anything that's going to interfere with your investigation. And there are things that I've been told that I think are true that I'm not sharing with you today because it could interfere with their investigation. But after we get to the bottom of this, they need to tell the American people the truth. And the people in New Orleans the truth. And the people of America the truth. I think the mayor and the governor are very wise to postpone this ball game for 24 hours. There's just too much stuff we don't know. And it's just not worth it. But I guess my final point is, I will promise you this. I will, when it is appropriate and this investigation is complete, you will find out what happened and who was responsible. Or I will raise fresh hell. And I will chase those in the federal government who are responsible for telling us what happened, like they stole Christmas.
Thank you, Senator.
I'm going to chase them like they stole Christmas. Man, I mess with Senator John Kennedy. He's a real one. Okay? But the fact of the matter is, how many of our senators or our people in the House of Representatives in Congress are actually willing to stand up for the American people and speak up for the American people? Most of them just seem to go along to get along. And it's very, very, very concerning that this is how things are operating in our nation right now. We need strong leaders. But so far across the nation, we don't have very many strong leaders. And we're seeing the rise of these very different terror cells and stuff like that. I encourage you to keep an eye on all of those anti-American terrorist jihadists that are out here talking about, oh, free Palestine. Oh, well, we're pro-Palestine, because many of those people are the same people that you'll see marching with those ISIS flags and with those socialists and those communists. And we know none of those three want anything good for our country. And each one of those three want to take over for their own rights. So we need to make sure that we keep an eye on these people. And I hate to say that, you understand what I'm saying, as many are American citizens, but it's very clear that when you are serving a foreign interest, promoting a foreign country or a foreign entity or a foreign thing, and you are talking about tearing down our government, that you are an enemy of the American people. And if our federal government and our state governments weren't so weak, I'd tell you guys to do something about it, but you probably shouldn't, because I don't want none of y'all getting in trouble. Okay? So stay frosty, but make sure that whatever you do, you arm up, you meet up with people that are like-minded, make sure that you get a strategy and a plan if some stuff breaks off, because we are seeing more and more things happen. You heard, what's his name? Wesley Hunt talk about we are most likely going to see attacks on the homeland. You heard Tim talk about we're funding terrorist organizations all across the world. These are two people that are seated in the House of Representatives. Okay, it's very, very, very serious, and we need to stay alert, and you need to keep your head on a swivel. Make sure that if you don't already have one, make sure that you get you something to defend yourself. Okay, whether it's a pistol permit, whether it's some sort of other arm. Okay, make sure that you can protect yourself, your family, and whatever, because it's very clear that the government is not here to protect you. You understand what I'm saying? And whenever the government tells you, like Ronald Reagan said, the scariest 10 words in the American language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. Okay. Have they helped the people in North Carolina? You understand what I'm saying? Have they helped the people in Virginia? They still homeless. All of those towns are still destroyed. And they just sent another $3.5 billion over to Ukraine. But we're not helping our own citizens here. Just understand that they do not prioritize you. They do not prioritize me. They only care about themselves. There is a opulent elite that is at the top of the pyramid in the United States, and they are doing whatever they can to keep it that way. They are part of these Western elites that are doing what they can to stomp the people down so that they can exert more power over them, so that we're not able to rise up against them or start to challenge their authority. That's why you seem to fight back and forth over these H-1B visas in the last couple of days, because it's not really about these visas. It's about these people in power trying to bring in a permanent quasi-techno class right above the American people to keep the American people from being able to be upwardly mobile or financially mobile in a higher level, to actually be on a standpoint to be able to challenge the people that are in real authority. And at the same time, they got these illegal aliens on the lower level coming in there to take lower level jobs. So they squeezing out the American people from both ways. And this is what we have to see is going on. They are doing and putting everything in, I guess you would say, movement to try to quell the American people, because they've seen that we started to wake up, that we're not going for their foolishness no more, that we're not playing with them no more in their BS, that they will be voted out. That's why they're trying to put in all of these different laws. I just saw this morning my Attorney General, Letitia James in New York State, talking about, oh, she's pushing to do some redistricting. You're the Attorney General. Go sit down in Attorney General somewhere. What are you doing with these redistricting? It's none of your affairs, bro. But see, this is what the government does when it wants to stay in power. They are so scared that people might challenge them and might be able to push them out and prevent them from putting in their insidious things that they're trying to implement to keep us down, that they will do whatever they can to jerry-rig it against the American people. Now's the time to get active. Now's the time to find your friend groups. Now's the time to find like-minded individuals that are willing to get politically active and get involved. Start at your local level, work on getting people involved on the county level, and move to the state level. We need to get our American patriots involved in every single level of government, because the government is not for the American citizens, and we must stand up and we must take action now. This is a new year. We got more time to do something. We got a new president coming in. God, pray that he gets in office and the inauguration goes on without a hitch, because I'm very concerned about that, especially with everything that we're seeing going on. Pray on that, y'all. Please pray. And if this does go on, we do have the ability to have a little respite, but just because we got some time to take a breath doesn't mean we stop moving forward. It's up to us, the American people, to stand up, speak up, and not shut up. You guys, make sure that you share this space, share this out, hit follow, hit subscribe, and please do see if you can donate, even if it's like $10. Do it on Cash App, $MW Real, the number 1, that's $MW Real, the digit 1, or Venmo and PayPal. It's at Marcus C. Williams, or you can do it on GiveSendGo.com/Marcus C. Williams. I'll keep you guys up to date. We'll catch you with another video tomorrow on what's going on and keep you updated. We'll catch you tomorrow at about 7:30 tomorrow evening. Stay tuned, and also catch my regular shows Sundays, 7 p.m., The Elephant in the Room with Marcus C. Williams on wherever you're finding this now, and Mondays, 2:30 to 4 p.m. I'll catch you guys later. Be blessed and be well. And remember, stand up, speak up, and don't shut up. Take action. Catch you guys later. Have a great night.